Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here. This contributor meetup for the month of April. I'm gonna give folks just a moment to trickle in for the first minute or two. Make sure we have all our community members in attendance before we start. You are here for the April contributor meetup with Unlock, and we have two awesome community members who are going to present a couple different projects, and would love for everybody to bring your questions and curiosity, and we'll have a little chance after each presentation, two presentations, for Q&A. So welcome. Yeah, feel free to turn on or off your video, whatever you feels comfortable to you. And if we have a appropriate group, we might do a quick round of intros, let everybody say hi. If folks want to at least unmute and say hello to the group, and maybe say where you're calling in from.
Hi, I'm Abdul Kabugu from Debo. Just wanted to say hello.
Hello, Abdul. Welcome. Very good to see you here.
Okay.
Thanks for attending. All right. Well, I'll continue the introductions. And my name is Tim. I lead community efforts here at Unlock, and been hosting this. This is my second time hosting this meetup. So very happy to be here and very delighted to see other folks here too. Julian, want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. My name is Julian. I'm the founder of Unlock Protocol, and I'm definitely excited to hear about both Headlines implementation as well as the Next.js integration as well. Hey, everyone.
Thanks, Julian. Chris, hello. Do you want to say hi to the group real quick?
Hello and good morning, everybody. Chris Carfey, and I look after marketing here at Unlock, and thanks everybody for coming out. Definitely want to make sure that everybody has a chance to check out and learn about the things that we're doing with Headline and all of our partners like Raid Guild, as well as some of the cool Next.js stuff that's going on. So thanks for taking the time and being here.
Thank you. Hey, Patrick, do you want to say hello real quickly?
Hello, I'm Patrick Workman, Brooklyn, New York. Excited to be here. Excited to really hear about all of the cool stuff that the community is building. I'm actually joining the Unlock team next week, so I'm excited to learn from each one of you.
Thanks for being here, Patrick.
Spoiler, but yes.
That's alpha. That's what this special group is for. Anybody else want to unmute themselves and say hello? Searchable guy, you're going to present today Next.js plugin. You want to just say hi and where you're calling in from?
Hello, I'm Sakshim. I work at Unlock on the front end, and I'm presenting from India. It's quite late here, but yeah. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, thank you for staying up late and being with us and showing us all the cool stuff some of the cool stuff you've been working on. Keating, you want to say hello to the group?
Hi, everyone. I'm Keating. I work mainly with Raid Guild and DAO House, and recently helped build out this Headline project, which I'm really excited to show you guys.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Keating, and all your hard work. Leo, do you want to say hi to the group? No
Sure.
pressure to do so.
Yeah, hi everyone. Currently calling from France, so pretty end of the day basically.
We have a few team members from France who who live there. Julian doesn't live there, but has lived there. It's from there, so I think we have some empathy for that. So thank you for staying up in your evening as well. And how about, I'll probably mispronounce this, but GLH Chen? Do you want to say hello? If you'd rather just listen, that's cool too. Okay. We'll go ahead and get going. We're 5 minutes in, so we've had our introductions, and I think we're ready to jump into presentations. We're going to go with Keating from Raid Guild and the headline demonstration first. So Keating, why don't you take it away? You should have the ability to share screen if you'd like, and yeah, tell us all about it.
Cool. Can everyone see my screen?
I can see it loud and
Great.
clear.
So I'm going to kind of walk through kind of what headline is, some of the features we built out. We'll take a look at some of the code as well, just to kind of see kind of under the hood how things are kind of working. Then towards the end, I'll also talk about potential new features we might be adding in the future. And it's a pretty small group right now, so if anyone has any questions as they come up, please feel free to interrupt me. I don't mind at all. Really happy to just hear what everyone's thinking. And yeah, let's dive right into it. So headline, it's a Web3 newsletter platform. The main sort of thing we want to do is allow creators to own their content and make the product as decentralized as possible. So we had to integrate with a lot of different protocols, including Unlock. Some of them were Ceramic, Lit. Ceramic's kind of like a database sort of layer on top of IPFS, and Lit is encryption token gating sort of protocol. So this is sort of the landing page. Got a lot of great info if people want to learn more. So if you want to create a publication, all you have to do is connect your wallet. I should have one already created. And you can write up new posts or edit old posts. We have a concept of like drafts. So this one's currently not published right now, but you know, we support editing, adding some very basic level of styling to your content. But we hope to expand this in the future. And everything under the hood should be able to translate into Markdown. So be really cool in the future to be able to toggle between this nice WYSIWYG and Markdown. So this is kind of how you write your articles. You can also edit some preview text if you want to add a description. Add a image, preview image. And then also you can select whether this article will be sent via an email if you have your email settings set up to all of your subscribers or only to your paid subscribers. And these are both managed through Unlock. So the way we kind of manage this is we have this membership tab. If you have a lock created, you just go to the dashboard, find the lock. I just have a bunch of test locks here, so the naming might not make sense. And then you select the chain you have the lock on, and then add the address here. And then that's kind of how you add a new lock. I have one already created here, and it shows how many people I have subscribing. So these two members I have that are subscribing, if I were to pick any paid content, they'd receive an email because I have my email settings set up already. I won't show you guys mainly because I have a secret key there to interact with the Mailgun API. You can also update your publication like name and description here, as well as the image. And what else? Those are kind of the main features. So that's kind of from like, if I am managing a publication and I'm creating new articles. So the other side of this is like, if I'm a consumer of the articles, so we can share a link to our article by clicking that button. And then if it's public information, you won't have to, it'll just be available to everyone. But if it's locked, then you have to sign with your wallet. And we basically check if you have the correct subscription to view the content. So I can see this content because I am the owner of the publication. And then if you wanted to subscribe, this will use Unlock's checkout URL, redirect you to Unlock, and then you basically add your email here. And I think right now, this might be subscribed already. So it won't do anything, but once you're done, it'll redirect you back to headline. With your new lock, so you can unlock the content if it's encrypted. Okay, so that's the contributor side, publication side. And I guess the other thing I want to show is we have this guide as well to help go into even more depth if people are interested in some of the things I mentioned. So like creating a publication, we have really nice tutorials to help people get started, because it's definitely a more Web3 centric experience. So if people are coming from something like Substack, it'll require some sort of understanding of wallets and signatures and whatnot. So we have this nice guide. And yeah, any questions on the first sort of walking through the platform? Anything jump out to anyone?
Any questions from anybody? And just check the chat. Feel free to type stuff into the chat as well, folks, if you have any questions you want to post there, and I can read them out.
Cool. So yeah, that's kind of like an overview of the platform. Now let's kind of walk through some of the code. The biggest sort of hurdle with implementing this was having to integrate with all these different protocols. So like Lit, Ceramic, Unlock. And some of these protocols are like less stable than others. So like Ceramic just is releasing their V2 of their like nodes and stuff. They're always changing. Lit's pretty new. Their SDK is pretty in beta. And Unlock was actually probably the most stable one of the integrations we had to do. So that was one of the hurdles, and kind of coordinating with those different teams was challenging. So let's dive into one of those integrations, and that would be Ceramic. And I just kind of want to share the data model so people can understand kind of what's going on under the hood, what data is available. And these data models exist for public access. So like, let's say you see the headline we built and you're like, this is missing a bunch of features I want. I want to make a better version. You can take the data from Ceramic and use the exact same data models, and people can port frictionlessly. All they have to do is sort of use that same wallet to log in to your new platform, and that's pretty cool. So at the data layer, for this is a publication now. So kind of this metadata here and this sort of view, we have like the name of your publication, your description. We have these different lit specific data types for managing your access controls around draft articles and published articles. We have a list of your locks that you have added to your publication, and then some email settings, as well as like a pointer to a registry of all of your published articles. So the thing with Ceramic is it's all JSON documents. They don't really have any sort of robust like relational modeling like GraphQL or a SQL database under the hood. But in the future, it seems like they're going to build out more querying capabilities. But even though they don't have that, we can build that in the future as well. So I think the important things to understand about some of these data types underneath are, for lit access, there's really two components that we use for access control. And that's this encrypted symmetric key, which kind of, you can think of it as like a key to unlock your data. And then this access control conditions, which is, it's basically like a statement saying like, can you access this data? So for something like this, we'll say like, if you have this super cheap lock, then you'll be able to get this to basically decrypt this encrypted symmetric key, which will allow you to then access the data that's token gated. So that's kind of like, this is the most complicated part of our data model. The rest of it's pretty straightforward because we have the idea of a publication, the idea of an article, and then we have some basically mapping data types. So this is like all of your articles mapped to your publication. And the other sort of mapping we have is all your published articles related to your publication. And an article has kind of whether like the description, the actual content, title, the status of whether it's been published or not, and whether it's a paid article or not. So it's pretty, right now it's pretty simple data model, but it gives us like a good foundation to build off of in the future. Any questions sort of on the data model parts?
Is this all open source?
Yes, this is all open source. You can go to this link, GitHub/RaidGuild/headline. And yeah, if anyone sees like anything that can be improved, we're kind of figuring out how to move the project forward, whether we should build a DAO around it or whatnot. But you know, going forward, it's all going to be open sourced, and we're going to hopefully continue to add features and improvements to make Headline a really great product to use.
I had a question on the access stuff that you were showing us earlier.
Yeah.
Once you've created different keys, say right now you have the super cheap, if you had like the super expensive key also, then the differences in access permissions of each of those keys would show up here in this part of the code. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. And no, sort of.
Okay.
Right now we have one key that manages all of your published articles for gating and one key that manages all your draft articles. So we wanted to keep it really simple for this initial release. So if you added the super expensive key, that would basically grant people with that lock access to all of the published articles. We don't have fine-grained control at the article level. The main reason we didn't want to like work through this problem is because it's tough to update access controls at like that granular of a level, because then you have to update every single key that's related to that new access control. So like if you wanted to do, if you had like 20 articles and you wanted to token gate only 5 of them for the super expensive lock, you'd have to update the key for all 5. And, you know, when we, 5 is reasonable, but when we get to like really big numbers, it's going to be tough to do, especially since we're doing a lot of the work right now in the browser.
Right. That makes sense. Cool. Thanks for that explanation.
Yeah, no problem. So cool. So that's like the ceramic sort of data layer. This lib directory is kind of where we have all the integration specific code. I think we can take a look at maybe unlock real quick. So these are some good examples for using the checkout redirect, as well as the fetching user metadata. And what we use here, so I demonstrated this with the subscribe button, with the fetch user metadata. So if you noticed when we subscribed, we had to input our email address, and we're using Unlock's metadata API, because they'll store that address, and then when we actually send the email, we'll fetch that address and then basically use it to send the emails to the correct users. And yeah, that's the extent of kind of our unlock integration. Then we also, with the lock management, we use sort of the SDK for that, but that was really easy to integrate. We could just use the SDK. So that's the unlock stuff. And so this headline file is kind of like, I would show the lit code, but with lit, we had to actually like lift a lot of their code from their SDK just because it was not organized in a way that was kind of conducive to how we used it. So we have all this kind of like boilerplate we kind of had to take from their SDK. And the main kind of functions that we care about are these two: the get key and decrypt, which gets that encryption key I was talking about in the ceramic data model, and then decrypts the text here. And for us, we even go like one step higher, because we're storing like the content for these articles in IPFS, mainly to keep the document size of the ceramic JSON documents small, as small as possible, so it's not super slow. So we have a lot of helpers around fetching and decrypting, kind of combining the lit and IPFS part, as well as the storing and encrypting part. So that should have covered sort of all the integrations, like unlock, ceramic, lit, IPFS. There's more specific code. We use Redux for managing the state on the front end. And we have kind of all the different data types broken out into directories. And then we used, if anyone's familiar with Redux Toolkit, to manage sort of handling all the boilerplate with Redux and making things pretty streamlined, handling all our updates, creates, and whatnot. So that's pretty much it for the code, the product. Any questions from anyone?
I have one, but I'm gonna give a second for anybody else to jump in if anybody else had any questions. Again, feel free to put them in the chat, type them in the chat also if you'd like. I'll go ahead and ask mine. Keating, you mentioned one of the challenges of being coordinating and collaborating with the teams from the various protocols. How did you overcome that? Did you join each of the Discord? Each team had a Discord and you were able to jump in there? Did you have like regular calls with the teams? Yeah, like if someone else were to go about building a project that depended on multiple different protocols, how would you suggest they go about that and to overcome that challenge of coordination and collaboration when everybody has so many things going on?
Yeah, that's a good question. The main thing I'd recommend is just joining all the Discords. Like the level I start at is look at the docs. If the docs are incomplete or out of date, go to the Discord, look for the specific issue. If there's not anything that's really helpful there, then either asking in the Discord. A lot of the protocols, especially ones that are newer and have less users in their Discord, are pretty responsive and really grateful for any sort of feedback. So posting in the Discord's good. And then sometimes after you post a couple times, you kind of build a relationship with people in the protocol and know who to maybe possibly DM if something's super urgent. But that's how I dealt with it with most of these integrations. And for some of them, Headline wasn't the first project I've worked with them before. So like Ceramic, I've done a couple things integrating with them. So you kind of build up that relationship with the protocol as you build more things using their infrastructure and libraries.
Right on. And those pre-existing relationships, would you say those also contributed to your decision to use those protocols, or were they the only options out there for that use case you had?
Yeah, I would definitely say it probably biases me towards reaching for them first. Mainly because in Web3, I think there's a lot of different things out there. And it's sometimes like a lot of things are new and don't necessarily have the best documentation. So to really kind of understand the suite of functionality you get and like how stable something is, like the best kind of insight you can get is from actually using it. And obviously that takes time. So I think since I've used like something like Ceramic before, it's something I can reach for and I know exactly kind of the functionality I'll get and whether it fits the use case or not, rather than having to kind of each time survey the landscape looking for the right protocol, if that makes sense. It was a little rambly, but.
No, that makes perfect sense. Appreciate that insight. I think that'll be helpful for other folks who are building. Okay, anybody else have any questions for Keating about Headline? This is your chance to dig in a little bit further. Leo?
Yeah. Yes, I won. From what I see, you kinda decided to use a lot of protocols that would allow some kind of cross-chain integrations. Is that correct, or?
It's kind of, we used a bunch of, well, they all support multiple chains, and all the chains we required kind of at the start of the project. The main reason we needed to use more than one protocol is kind of they each have their own specialty that we needed for the project. So for the data layer, and to preface, we like wanted to make this product as decentralized as possible. So for like decentralized data options, Ceramic was a good option for what we needed. For handling like decentralized encryption and gating of content, Lit was kind of like a good option for that. And then for managing subscribing and payment to these different publications, Unlock fit a really good fit really well for that use case. So it's kind of more of like we needed to use a bunch of protocols kind of to meet every single sort of feature we needed to make the product great and decentralized.
Okay, that's cool. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Leo. Anybody else have any curiosities they'd like to get answers to?
Maybe like another question, sorry.
No, please do.
Regarding Ceramic, so how was it like, for example, to query the data? Because from what I understand, they don't have like GraphQL integration, like zgraph indexing, stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah, and they don't. And that's kind of like with Ceramic, if you want to query it, you kind of have to take like, go the next step and actually index it yourself. For our release of this initial version, we don't actually need to do any querying. A lot of it's just fetching the documents I kind of walk through and then displaying it. So even at this entries level, like the way we handle that is through that registry we have. And it's not, we don't have any filtering or sorting capabilities here. So we don't really have to worry about doing any sort of advanced querying that we can't do in the browser. But yeah, that's definitely like a shortcoming of Ceramic and something that I hope they add in the future.
Good question, Leo. Did you have a follow-up?
No.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for those questions. Anybody else before we move on to Saksham's demonstration? And feel free, if anything else comes up, feel free to drop them in the chat. We can go ahead and move on and do some more Q&A after Saksham presents as well. So Keating, thank you very, very much for presenting Headline. That was awesome to see. I got even more insight into it than I had before, even from the team perspective. So appreciate the under the hood glimpse.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Saksham, the floor is yours now to share what you've built with the Next.js plugin.
Yeah, hello. Let me just start sharing the screen because I want to show, is my screen visible?
It is.
Okay, so I've been building a lot of cool stuff like small applications with Unlock, like a job board and an NFT chat application, a lot of like small little application. And every time I face this problem where I want to like integrate Unlock into my application and I have to like write a lot of code to like integrate it to a lot of like boilerplate. And this was pretty frustrating, and other people are facing the same problem. They want to integrate token gating in their application, and it's not easy to like do it because you have to like interact with a lot of libraries and like Unlock.js and have to like understand the platform specific or framework specific APIs. To like ace that up, I built this Unlock with Next.js template. basically you can clone this template by clicking on this button. And you can then quickly just jump in right into code and build something that can use Unlock as the authentication layer. You can access the membership that are associated with the logs. So like it's a demonstration, for example, if you go here, you can log in and you're logging in, and I should have. Okay, let me just connect. So like the thing is, you want to like integrate this authentication layer that Unlock provides into your application. So like here it's working. Here you have this layer, you can like get access to keys and stuff inside it. But to get there, it's a lot of like work. You have to like write a lot of code in the background. Like you have to get these keys from the backend. You have to like access with Locksmith. You have to like access Locksmith in the backend. You have to like verify whether the user owns the key. You have to like do the authentication here, cookies. And to make that easier, I built this Next.js template. And to use this, you can like jump in. I have a simple example here where I'm using this boilerplate to, for example, add in another API. Like, let's say you want to like add an API where you have a bunch of articles, or maybe like you have some kind of content that is coming from a database, or maybe from Ceramic that the Kate presented before. You want to like build APIs using Ceramic, and you can do that. For example, this items is coming from this DB file. For now, it's just secret 1, secret 2. It's an array, but let's say you are calling Ceramic in the background and you want to like token gate that with Unlock. You don't want anybody without having like access to the and without having the NFT key to like access it. So you can do that so if you go here, have this API, and if you go like this items, I'm not logged in, so I cannot access it. It's pretty easy to like do this stuff because you just need to like check in. You just need to like check if the user is logged in, and you can easily do that by adding just the if statement. And here is the item. And if I log in here, it's a local application, it's not the same, but if I log in here again, I can just log in. And if I just log in again, I would be able to access the API without having to like do a lot of like complicated stuff, and I can access it here. So if you want to like build a big API, so like a full system using Unlock as the authentication layer, Unlock as the token gating layer, you can do that easily just by copy pasting, just writing some code. We just need to check it. And similar, there is another problem that a lot of content creators face when they want to like build publication platform using Unlock, that they want to like lock the content on the page. But if they just lock it using client-side API, like you want to like set the state using client-side API, then anybody can access the content by inspecting the browser. So to solve that, you have to like check the status in the background. Like you have to check the status on the server side, then render a page and directly serve that page to the user. To make that easier, Next.js also provides server-side rendering, and it also integrates with the server-side rendering. You can easily, for example, render server-side pages using this. If you can check user is logged in, then you can send items using your database. Or if the user is not logged in, you can just send an empty array. So the page will not render without any kind of like content. So if you go, for example, here, page rendered using secrets, I'm logged in, so it shows me that there are. But for example, if I log out here and go again, it won't work because it's logged on the server side. It's checking that I have access on the server side. And it's easy to integrate. You can just like write some code. It's this server-side prop. It's a Next.js specific thing. It's not coming from my template, but we just have to like check in if the user is logged in or not. You can send data and render the page differently based on that. And it's server-side. And this thing was a huge motivation. To build this was Bakery. If you don't know about Bakery, it's like a DAO which like produces high quality research and stuff, and they are using the Next.js template to build their dashboard and stuff. Like this integration here, login, uses the same Next.js stuff. this is using the same Next.js plugin to like this is login page. They have this membership stuff pages. And then if you go to like research, I think these articles are logged in. I'm logged in right now, so I can access the articles. But if I log out, I think these articles are locked. These articles are locked behind like server side logged in using the CMS, and they're using Superbase for managing the article data in the background and curing it on the server side using Next.js to like build these pages, serve these pages. And they are planning to like expand this whole thing into like building dashboards for their like users, where like they can do a lot of like present a lot of interesting data that they're collecting that they wouldn't want anybody else to access, and want to like sell this into different membership. They are going to introduce, for example, different tiers. You can do that easily with the Next.js plugin because it provides a way to like check different member type. For example, if you have optimism lock, you can have Ethereum lock, you can have multiple locks on Ethereum. And in the background, the Next.js layer provides you a way to like query the memberships. Like you can get, this provides an API to like query all the memberships. Here, if you go to, you can see what all memberships a person has. You can see what lock they have, and you can provide different access layer easily in your code. You just need to like check what kind of like the membership the user has, and that all the Next.js layer provides make it easy to like spin off applications. And similarly, I built another application using Next.js that is chat, like NFT membership chat, where like I'm already logged in, but here only the people who have this specific NFT chat can chat with each other. It's also using Next.js template. Like if I send message here, I can send messages. It works. And if I log out, I cannot do that anymore. I can again log in. And it's the same thing. It's just making it easier to like integrate and lock into like all sort of application, full stack applications that you can build. And anybody has any questions regarding any of it?
I have a question. Saksham, if one were to start from zero and go to finished product without using this template, how much longer would it take? How much longer do you think it would take them?
I would give you an example of bakery. I would give you an example of bakery because that's the reason I built this initially, that somebody from bakery, Crocient, reached out to me and they wanted to integrate and lock into this new application. They wanted to move to a CMS. And it took them like 2 weeks of research just like to get somewhere into like doing something, and they still didn't get it because you have to know how the cookies, authentication, routing tokens, everything works. Then you have to like understand the Next.js. You have to like understand server-side rendering. There's a lot of this technical stuff that goes beyond unlock that you have to understand to build this. So I would say it would take a couple of weeks to like fully grow the system and build this.
Wow. So this is a real time saver for folks. That's awesome. It's amazing. Very cool.
Yeah, it's the main thing that a lot of people want to quickly start building applications with Unlock, and they don't want to like deal with all the boilerplate. They don't want to like know how to call the contracts, because you have to like understand how Ether.js work, how you can call contract from the chains. And this is like super complicated stuff like for a beginner who is just getting started. And that's what I wanted to ace with the Next.js template. And a benefit with Next.js is you can also like build APIs, and you can also build the front end as well as the API to server-side rendering with like one framework. And you can easily deploy to Vercel without having to like touch any of the DevOps stuff or any of like the system admin stuff. And it's easier to like ship real applications into production as a single individual or a small team.
Yeah. I'm curious if anybody in the audience has any current projects that they're currently working on where this could be useful, or any ideas for projects that they've been wanting to work on where this might be useful. Anybody?
I've been thinking a lot about creating myself a little hackathon project around basically locking content of tweets. And I think I'm going to use this. The idea would be to create, locked tweets that didn't get posted on Twitter as a preview. But if the user clicks on it, they can connect their wallet and check or prove that they have the right membership. If they do, they'll see the content. If they don't, well, they can't see the content. And what's cool about that one is like, you can, once you've unlocked, you can reshare it yourself on Twitter and earn governance tokens when you reshare and people do unlock. So kind of creating a referral pattern on top of unlock, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah, that would
That'd
be
be
a
awesome.
pretty cool use of it. And I think Next.js also provides like recently added middleware functions which run on Edge. So you can like do the whole drafting. You can generate like pictures with like contained at Edge, and it's like super fast. So you don't have to like wait. Any of the social media providers won't have to like wait to load up the image for building the embeds. You can have like customized custom embeds built using the log data, like locksmith data or the NFT data.
Very good to know. We have another entry. Abdul, you mentioned in the chat that you'd like to share your project. You want to tell us about it?
Oh, thank you for this opportunity. I could share my screen.
Yeah, let me let's see. If you try, does it let you?
Yeah, no, I get this message. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, let me try. Can you try now? See if it works.
Yeah, this is okay.
And maybe Saksham, if you stop screen sharing, then Abdul can share.
Now you can see my screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, thank you, everyone. As I introduce myself earlier, I am from Debo. At Debo, we're trying to build or to introduce or to promote what NFT ticketing can offer or solve, and why we need to use NFT ticketing. So for this, we have built some tools that can make it more easier and improve user experience for both event organizers and guests who want to attend to any event. So here I want to share a couple of what we have been working on and what is next. For the event ticketing industry, NFT tickets represent a new era for fans. Token utility, fair ticket prices, airdrop rewards, and collectible NFTs. So we have been using unlock protocol to achieve and to make these things, your token utility and fair ticket prices, much more easier, and everyone can do it. I don't have a huge presentation for you guys, just it is short and brief. We started building this in February, and we are now we have deployed our roadmap and other cool stuff. Let me share our landing page here. Here's our landing page. Let me zoom it a little bit here. Yes. At Debo is the word as you can see here, guys. I think everyone, if you have opened this landing page, you know some information, but I will go and introduce some cool features here. We help anyone to issue ticket events or events organizer worldwide to take advantage of the latest technological innovations. So this is what we are building. We are building a marketplace for tickets, so everyone can create, price, and sell their tickets. And all of these cool features, it's just one. You can control all of these just in one dashboard. Yeah, you can open this our landing page for more information to get all of this information. Here's our roadmap. This is a project roadmap. The roadmap focuses on the development of the technology operations, of the technology development, operations, infrastructure, and partnerships. Here's our project inception, idea initialization. We have building, we are currently have completed this progress. You can see here it is 100, and here's all our informations for our project roadmap. And we have built this. Let me share a little bit where we are right now. Yes, that. I'm trying to share my screen of what we are doing right now here.
We can still see your screen.
Oh, sorry. My computer is a little slow, is slow, but it is loading. Wait a moment. Okay, now it is done. Now you can see here. Here is what you have been building. You can see it is a ticket marketplace. Anyone can create. You can search from our market.
So
And
is this?
We have this nice dashboard.
Wow, is this kind of like Eventbrite for Web3 ticketing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where you
That
can
is
where you can discover events as well as create events now. Wow, very cool.
Thank you, guys. That's what I wanted to share with you.
Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. It's really neat to see. I appreciate you giving us the visual demonstration too. Awesome. Just catching up on the chat here. Looks like we got some tech support going on. That's awesome. Some building happening in real time. Cool. Well, Abdul, thank you for sharing your project as well. Does anybody have any questions for Abdul or Saksham about Abdul's ticketing project or Saksham's Next.js project? I know that we got some folks trying some stuff out, so just wanted to give a little bit more time for the live discussion on that Next.js thing if we need that.
Any question, guys? I would like to answer all of your questions if there's any question.
Yeah, and any questions about how Abdul has gone about building this? Abdul, you want to go ahead and stop sharing your screen? We can return to our faces and stuff if folks want to.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Let
And can you drop any links in the chat, Abdul, to anything that's live on the web that folks can check out, either GitHub repo or public website?
Let me share it now. Let me first stop screen, stop share, and let me share my screen. Libo.xyz. Yeah, this is our link to a website. It is a landing page. We haven't launched our project, but it is a link to our landing page.
Very cool. Do you have a launch date in mind?
We haven't. Still not yet.
Still working. Got it.
Yeah, still working on that.
How long have you been working on this project so far?
We started to build this project in the beginning of February this year.
All right. Sounds like you're making pretty good progress.
Yes. In our web landing page, there's a good roadmap. Everyone can see it is right in the world. We are following this roadmap.
How many folks on your team are working with you?
Currently, we are two. Me with my friend, we are working together to make it.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, that was a bonus bonus presentation for everybody.
And I would like to let anyone that we are working in public, so anyone can join us to make it.
Hey, Abdul, Julian asked, where are you based in the world geographically?
I'm Tanzanian. I'm from Tanzania.
Tanzania, awesome.
Uh,
What time is it there right now?
And now it is 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Okay,
Yes.
whole nother day.
This is good.
Very cool. All right, so we got about 5 more minutes left in the hour before we wrap up. Just want to open the floor to any and all questions, comments, jokes, anything anybody want to share with folks who have presented, either curiosities or feedback. I think everybody who has presented also is on the Discord. So if you want to get in touch asynchronously, we can meet up in the Discord and continue conversations there. Oh, cool. Looks like Solomon and Abdul are neighbors. This is great. Awesome chance for us to connect worldwide.
I want to give a quick shout out to Keating for his amazing work on Headline. This is open source. Hopefully we'll find some contributors as well on this, but if you have any ideas on how to make it better, please get in touch with Keating, with us. We'd love to hear your thoughts and ways we can improve it. I want to also thank Saksham, like always, for his work on the Next.js integration. I'm definitely going to use this myself. I look forward to seeing more people use it because I think building more tooling for people to use Unlock inside of their application, I think is going to make a massive difference. Cool.
Yeah, and I don't know if we really highlighted like the kind of how big of a deal Headline is in terms of context and like the size of the project and the future of Unlock and its role in that. Do you want to give your thoughts on that, Julian? I think it's a pretty big deal.
Briefly, because I got another call starting in a couple of minutes. But yes, absolutely. So one thing that we thought a lot about is like, of course, Unlock is a protocol for memberships. But a lot of people told us over the years, like, hey, this is great, this is cool, but can I build real application with Unlock? And it's like, yes, you can. And we wanted to show that by showing that you can build real Web3 application, not just with Unlock, but also with Ceramic, which is the data layer that Keating presented us earlier, as well as Lit for encryption, IPFS for storage, and hopefully more and more stuff. We actually got a message from the live peer team the other day saying, hey, we'd love to see if there's a way to add videos to a Headline. And I was like, yeah, this would be really interesting. I'd love to be able to find a way to allow people to log videos as a way to prove that you can build web application in a completely different way that doesn't rely on any kind of gatekeeper or middleman, but just using open protocols as a way to store, encrypt, decrypt, access memberships, et cetera, et cetera. So that's really what this is about. Obviously, there's a lot of work, but I'm really blown away by the work that the Raid Guild has been able to do, especially Keating on that. So it's fantastic to see it live out there and see people start to use it.
Yeah, and just to sort of riff on that, on the complementary side, one of the really interesting things about Headline is completely different business model as well. So it's direct connection between the creators and their fan base. They can take those memberships wherever they need, and being able to actually do this, in a collaborative manner with other protocols that are out in the space was, I think, a really amazing first step in showing what Web3 can do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that recap, both of you. I think that's a good context setting for everybody. And yeah, we got 1 minute left, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, for showing up here today. If you would like to present at a future meetup, I just dropped a form link in the chat that you can go to and let us know about your project. We'd love to have you present at one of these in the future, and let you know that we also are meeting pretty much every Wednesday at the same time, either here on Zoom on the third Wednesday of the month, or on Twitter Spaces on the 4th and 1st Wednesdays. And we also have office hours in our Discord on the second Wednesday of each month. So we have lots of opportunities for you to engage with the community, and we hope to see you at this one next month and all the other ones in between. So have a wonderful day.